From the heart of Wayne County, this is Wayne Goldsboro Television, Goldsboro, North Carolina. Today is Thursday, it's the 21st of July, 2016, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
And today, Pat, is Thursday. That means one more day until the weekend, and I'll tell you, it looks like today's going to be probably the best day of the week for rain, or actually the lack of it. We've had rain almost every day since the beginning of time, but today, forecasters are saying probably not today, but we're still going to be in the upper 80s, lower 90s, so it's going to be kind of hot, but should be a dry day, a chance for, for us to dry out a little bit. And I'm not complaining about the rain. We certainly needed it, but, we've had enough, I think, right?
Just a little.
Just a little. Just a little enough. Paige Lerner normally comes in and talks to us about the crime of the week. She could not be here this week, and she sent me over the crime of the week. Now, here we go with the crime of the week this week at approximately 11 p.m. on July 11th. July 11th. Now, today's the 21st. So about 10 days ago. The Handy Mart store at 2495 Highway 13 north of Goldsboro was robbed at gunpoint by three unknown black male subjects. Deputies of the Wayne County Sheriff's Office responded to the location in reference to a call for assistance from the clerk of the store. The investigation revealed that the clerk was in the process of closing and securing the store for the evening. That's about 11 p.m. The clerk reported, and video surveillance confirmed that multiple black male subjects approached from the left south side of the store and forced him at gunpoint to re-enter the store. The clerk was held at gunpoint while one of the subjects went behind the counter removing lottery tickets and tobacco products. Sometime during the incident, the clerk attempted to escape when the subjects began shooting, and the clerk was struck by gunfire. Evidence obtained so far has determined that three subjects are involved. The investigation continues with the sheriff's office, and he's requesting the assistance of the public for any information. Detective Anthony Mullis and Lieutenant Sean Harris are assigned to the case and may be reached at the following number, 919-731-1394. Officer Harris is at 919-731-1480, Detective Harris, 731-1480. Callers may also call Crime Stoppers at 919-735-2255 or text 919-222-4230. The owners of the Handy Mart, E.J. Pope and Son, are offering a reward of $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those individuals responsible for the crime. The $5,000 reward is in addition to any reward or monies offered by Crime Stoppers. The Crime Stoppers offers up to a $1,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of a suspect. E.J. Pope and Son will offer an additional $5,000 for the arrest and conviction of the person responsible or persons responsible for this robbery. All right, 919-735-2255. Okay, see what else we have here. It's still hot, but not as hot. One of the hottest days I've experienced here lately, it was in the upper 80s. I'm serious, it was in the upper 80s, but boy, was it miserable. The dew points were sky high. The humidity was just out of this world. It was just a horrible, horrible, horrible day. In fact, I put the paper in front of my face so nobody can see me sweating. See? Maybe not. Okay. I know. Here we go. Next Thursday, a week from tonight, at the.
What about tonight?
Oh yeah, that's right. What about tonight? Hey, tonight, Seven Springs, 6 p.m., Seven Springs. The Walk and Roll Tour series continues this evening in Seven Springs. I don't know why I was looking at next week.
What would you do without me?
I don't know. Seven Springs History Tour. Everybody meets at the Neuse River Boat Ramp. This is the walk and roll series for Go, Wayne, Go. Go, Wayne, Go. That's right. Walk and get healthy. In fact, if you walk enough, you'll get healthy.
True. And then the next Thursday.
And then next Thursday at the courthouse steps here on Walnut Street, Jim Quick and Coastline Band will be performing at Center Street Jam, and that's why it's going to be here at the courthouse. So you can walk your Go, Wayne, Go beginning at 6, and then walk on over to the Center Street Jam and boogie boogie, get down funky. Oh boy, you didn't know I knew all those cool words, did you? Peace. Far out. Cool. Okay, enough of that garbage. What else we got? Look at that.
That's upside down.
They printed that upside down.
Can you read that?
Sure I can. Ik en talk in you.
You actually start at the bottom.
Oh yeah, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, beginning in the late 1800s, which is a long time ago, Wayne.
And not Wayne Alley.
Thank you. The courthouse bell. That's B-E-L-L, not B-E-L-L-E. But the courthouse bell kept the residents of Goldsboro and surrounding Wayne County, North Carolina, informed whenever court was in session and anytime activities downtown required him to sound off. He sounded off, Wayne did. Despite 100 years of courthouse fires and demolitions and relocations, the bell has survived by being moved from one location to another until he was rescued, preserved, and permanently placed on display where he quietly marks time and oversees daily activities for residents and visitors to his beloved Wayne County Courthouse. You can see Wayne the Bell. Wayne the Bell. You can be watching and seeing and watching him oversee activities here at the courthouse. As you walk in the courthouse atrium from the William Street side, he's to your immediate left, encased in an encasement. I just made that up.
I believe it.
Anyway, that's where he is, and you can see Wayne the Bell right there. But now, there's a book that's been written.
There is a book.
By Mr.
Shelton Smith.
Shelton Smith, Sr.
Yes.
has written a book about Wayne the Bell.
Which was a former facilities director.
Yes, he was director of former facilities a long time ago, and he has written a book about Wayne the Bell. And it's a book maybe yay thick.
Maybe.
Yayer thick, and it's suitable for youth and youngsters, right?
Yes.
Excellent. It's a great story. Wayne the Bell tells you all about it.
And there should be a copy in the county manager's office.
There you go. There you go.
And there may be one at the library, but I'm not 100%.
There should be one at the library, and there should be one in the museum as well. I'm not sure where you can buy these, but they're available somewhere. Tonight was scheduled a program at the Wayne County Public Library about state parks. Well, what happened? You tell us about that.
Actually, the Cliffs of the Neuse Ranger was coming to talk about the state parks at the public library. It has been postponed due to a change in the presenter, and a new time will be announced when the speaker is available.
So he's not going to be able to be there?
No.
Okay. So they've got to get a new presenter and be listening down the road and in time for the time and the date and the place and all that, right?
Yes.
Right.
In time.
In time. In time.
But what else is going on?
Well, at the Wayne County Public Library, I'm glad you asked. This Saturday, Internet Basics is a program being offered. You can learn Internet terms, you can learn definitions and browsers and what are menus and web addresses and how to access web addresses and menus, how to access search engines and mega search engines, how to access and use directories, and deleting your browser history. Now that's important. People don't realize how important that is, but how do you do it? Well, you go to this class and find out. It starts at 9:30 Saturday morning. 9:30 Saturday morning at the Wayne County Public Library at 1001 or 1010 at 1001 East Ash Street. Which one is it? 1001 East Ash Street. And that's right. And they would like you to register for this. You call the number 919-735-1824 extension Trey. 3, right?
Yes. What's going on at 10:30 this morning at the library?
10:30 this morning. Huh. Horticulture. What's that? That's the title of the class or offering by the Wayne County Public Library. It's a kids gardening event. It starts actually at 9 o'clock this morning for pre-K to first graders and 10:30 this morning for second to fifth graders. They'll learn what it takes to grow food with fun activities at the library's community garden. That's behind the library out there off of Jackson Street. And that thing's really coming along, growing very nicely. Anyway, horticulture, what's that? A kids gardening event, Wayne County Public Library at 9 this morning for pre-K and first graders, and then 10:30 this morning for second through fifth graders. All right? All right. Let's do this. What are we going to do?
We're going to go to our next segment.
We're going to go to our next segment. Thank you very much. And we'll be back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Today we're in a facility outside the outskirts of Goldsboro, and we're in a place known as Curtis Media Group. Is that right?
That's correct.
And this is a room that belongs to one WGBR.
That's right.
Goober Radio. We're right here, right here at WGBR Studios. We're talking with Tony Denton. Tony's the general manager of this entire facility, all these radio stations.
That's correct.
You and I were talking a little while ago. We were trying to find out and figure out how many stations are here. We actually lost count.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of stations here. So we've got everything covered from gospel to country to news talk, and what else do we have
Classic
here?
hits.
Classic hits.
Yeah, got that over in our Kinston stations, WELS. So, yeah.
A little bit of everything. Everything right here. And we're here today because there's getting ready to be a big move, not a move, but some changes or some additions. Or I don't know what you, okay, additions is good. Okay, let's call it an addition. Going to find out here what's going on. What's going on with WGBR particularly?
Well, Wayne, WGBR, the trend of late has been with translators, FM translators.
What does that mean?
That is a low-power FM radio station that usually is attached to an AM or an HD channel of an FM station, and it's a permit actually. So we have obtained several of those for some of our stations here. One of them being WGBR. We also have WSSG 1300 AM. Right. And 730 AM WFMC.
And all these, of course, are Curtis Media stations.
They all are. That's correct. And you may have heard already Jack 98.3.
Right. What was the format of Jack?
It is pretty much adult hits, we like to call it, but it's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
It's a little bit of rock and roll and, just a variety of hits. It has been on the air now for about a little over a year at 98.3. Well, we're going to be shifting some things to enable all of our AM stations to also have the FM translator. We're putting the equipment, the antennas on, or going up now on WGBR's tower, and 98.3 Jack FM will eventually, in the next month or so, become WGBR's FM frequency.
Oh, wait a minute here.
Yes.
So, this is big news.
It is.
So, since 1939, WGBR has been an AM-only station.
That's correct.
That means that within the next month or so, WGBR will become AM and FM.
That is correct.
My goodness.
It will be probably before around the middle of August at the latest, or sooner. 98.3 that is, like I said, is now Jack, will become WGBR. And so Jack's not going away. We're just, it's being evicted, so to speak, to another frequency a little further down the FM dial. It will be on 92.7 FM.
Okay.
And also still on 1300 AM.
So 1300 will be simulcasting with
92.7,
which is Jack.
Jack. That will become Jack.
Yeah.
Then WGBR, of course, will still be on 1150 AM and on 98.3 FM.
So anyone who tunes in to 1150, of course, will hear WGBR AM. But then on 98.3, you tune to FM 98.3, you'll find WGBR.
Within the next 30 days.
Within the next 30 days. Now, what about the format? Is that going to change at all?
No, the format for WGBR will be just exactly what you hear right now.
So that means we still have to put up with Jeff Farrow in the morning.
Still got to have Jeff Farrow and Thomas Vick. Yeah,
Thomas.
That's right.
Yeah.
And all of our great talk shows, Tar Heel Sports, looking to put this year high school football back on the air after a 10-year hiatus.
All right.
That'll be on WGBR 1150 and on 98.3.
That's great. So what about coverage? Now, you mentioned a low-power FM. Does that mean that there's going to be a small coverage area?
Most of the translators are 250-watt FMs.
Okay,
but
that's
if,
pretty
you
good,
know, with
though.
FM, if you've got enough height, and they're all at the top of the WGBR tower, which is about 500 feet, I guess, it'll cover Wayne County very, very well and beyond. We have one in our Kinston location on WELS. We have 1010 AM, which is gospel, and it has a translator on 92.9 FM, which is also 250 watts. It can be heard here in Goldsboro, and it's in Kinston. So most of them, they get out very, very well.
So is it mainly line of sight?
It is. It is.
Okay.
And, of course, we're flat down here, so that's good. And
that is good.
It does penetrate buildings. I hear in my office 98.3 right now.
Right.
Penetrates walls and buildings, and the antenna being so close to downtown, buildings and the offices should be able to pick up WGBR FM.
So the transmitter and the antenna, which used to be in the facility itself, is no longer, which is common.
Right, that's
Very
pretty
common.
That's
Where's the transmitter?
All of our FM translator transmitters are going to be on Highway 117 South, which is where the WGBR WFMC tower site is.
Right.
You know, we moved that years ago when 795 came through, back when you were here.
I remember it well.
That's where WGBR AM and FM will broadcast from, and of course 730 WFMC, which is our gospel station here, is getting an FM frequency, as we mentioned earlier as well. It will be on 105.7 FM.
Okay, 105.7 and 730.
And 730, that's correct. So it's not that our stations are going away. I want to make that real clear. On FM, they'll still be on FM, but we're also going to be adding the AM frequencies.
That is great. This is a long time coming, hasn't it?
Long time coming, and been working on it for a while, and we're getting, as we used to say back when in the Barring Tobacco days, we're getting in the short rows now.
Yeah.
So, that's all good.
I remember those short rows.
I do too.
Happy to be in them.
Absolutely. And of course, we still have 97.7 Katy Country, which is our full power FM. And then in Kinston, we have and here too, 102.9 WELS FM, which is our full power classic hits FM. So.
Wow, Curtis Media Group. I remember back, 1989, I believe, when Don Curtis and Vassy Balkan made an arrangement to
I think that's about right.
To change hands of this station here. And since then, the stations, all of the stations here have grown. In fact, at first, it was only the two stations.
That's right. There was WGBR and EQR back in those days.
That's right.
Yeah.
So and it was 96.9. That's right.
And we still have that station as well. It's still the tower for that is out in the Princeton area,
right.
And
I see it often.
It simulcasts with a station in Raleigh, and the studios for that particular station is in Raleigh.
It's in Raleigh. So they microwave down to the tower.
They do. Yep.
Right.
And they kind of loop it through here.
Yeah.
Then we kick it back out to the tower in Princeton. We have several ways to. We're a backup for the main way to get.
I remember the days going out the back door at the old facilities, looking out way across in the distance there, seeing those tower lights. That's how we had to check lights.
That's right.
Just by sight.
That's
you don't have to do that anymore, do you?
You do, but there's electronic readings now. You do it by phone, and it tells you if there's any outages. Used to you had to visually look at them, but you can do it by.
Now there's also a tower in the LaGrange area.
There is. That is 97.7 Katy Country's tower. We built that. I guess it's been over 10 years now. It was in process before when I was here before.
Right.
We did that.
Yeah, I do want to mention that, and I have heard from a lot of people that are happy that you're back with us here.
Well, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
I really am. It's I was here for a long time before, as you know. With you and I worked closely together for years on GBR. And then, took over as manager back then as well of all the assets we had then. But now we certainly have far more than we did then.
So, what kills me, Tony, is I'm going to tell a secret here. You didn't really want that job.
You didn't
I
want
didn't. Back then, I struggled with it. You know, we were doing our thing with WGBR and doing it well.
We're having a ball.
We were having a ball, and you know, the opportunity kind of presented itself, and I said, you know, if I don't, you and I talked about it. It was one that I really struggled with doing, but it worked out.
It did work out. You did an amazing job here, and then went on to higher greener pastures, and then that grass died.
Well, it didn't die.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
You know, Don and I started talking. Probably I've been here now a little over 90 days, and we've been kind of knocking things out. But he and I started talking about 3 months prior to that, and I was in a pretty good situation. But you know, this is like. You know, I've touched everything in here. We had a lot to do with the design of how this building is.
Right.
And I remember, as a matter of fact, this room we're in now, the WGBR studio, we built the building, and if you remember, and we said, okay, the studio furniture, which is in front of us here, how are we going to get that in there?
How are we going to get it inside?
So Vassy Balcom knew a carpenter, if you remember.
Right.
And we had this table here in front of us, custom built to fit the WGBR console because we couldn't. The old furniture at the old building was too big.
It was
wouldn't
enormous.
fit. Yeah. So just things like that. I remember all those things.
Yeah, little things like that. Well, again, want to congratulate you and Don and everybody that was in the decision-making position. And I guess that was you and Don to go ahead and get the translators working and move WGBR after so many years on the air to an AM/FM combo.
You're getting the scoop on this, by the way. You're the first outlet that we're even telling this story to. We're just breaking the news today.
Hey, there you go. Right. This is the first. And Tony Denton, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right.
As the commander of VFW Post 2615 here in Goldsboro, I have a message for all you first responders and law enforcement. We've got your six. As a retired Marine of 22 years of service, I have multiple deployments ranging from Operation Desert Storm, Restore Hope, and Operation Iraqi Freedom. I understand what it's like to have someone's back, and I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for everything you've done and all the sacrifices you and your families have made. On behalf of veterans of Wayne County, North Carolina, and a grateful nation, thank you, and God bless you.
We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Congratulations to Dr. Thomas Walker, who is actually a Lumberton native who's been around the U.S. as an educator. Most recently in, I believe it was Kansas. He was at Grand Island campus of Central Community College in Nebraska. Nebraska, you say. A position he held for a couple of years, and prior to that he was the Vice President for Student and Enrollment Services for all locations of that college, which serves 25 counties. He was also working in higher education in Missouri, Tennessee, and North Carolina. He is from Lumberton, so he's coming back home. And they say you can't go home again. Who said that? Thomas Wolfe. That's beside the point. And there's more. A Special Olympics Wayne County event is coming up in August. This will be at Goldsboro Municipal Golf Course. It is a golf tournament. Special Olympics Wayne County. This tournament taking place on the 18th of August at Goldsboro Municipal. $50 per player. It's a 4-person Super Bowl with prizes for closest to the pin and longest drive. The time will be 11 a.m. You check in, then the shotgun start is 1 o'clock. If you want information about this, it's Goldsboro Parks and Recreation that can tell you more about it. It's GoldsboroParksandRec.com. 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 There you go.
It's a mouthful, isn't
It is a mouthful. It's a mouthful. All right. So what makes today so special? I'll tell you when I find it. It's here, Summers. Here it is. I got it. No, that's something else. Yeah, that's something else. I got it right here. Today's the 21st of the month. Today is Get to Know Your Customers Day. I'll tell you, and on a serious note, that is so important. If you operate a business, if you work at a business, if you don't know your customers, you are missing out on sales or services. Whatever you do, you have to know your client. You have to know your customer. And by that, I mean you just get up close and personal. I mean, you don't want to find out how many kids they've got, you know, and what they do and all that stuff. Just find out what your customer's needs are. Get to know your customer. and don't sell them something they don't need, or give them any kind of service of something they don't need. And that happened to me last year. Without going into a lot of detail, I had some work done, and references were not checked, and they should have been.
That was bad on your part.
It happens. They were, well, it happens. You know what happens. It happens. 21st. Today is No Pet Store Puppies Day.
What?
No Pet Store Puppies Day. They're saying here, this is a declaration saying, look, we've got the Animal Adoption and Education Center full of puppies ready to be adopted. Why would you go spend a ton of money, sometimes hundreds of dollars, for a pet store puppy when there's plenty of them right out there at the Animal Adoption and Education Center? And you can get one from the center for $50 plus $10 for the rabies shot. Not only that, they need a home out there. That they do. All right, today is Casual Pie Day. Casual pie. Okay, I won't even get into that one. I'm not sure. It has something to do with pie. You know, P.I. And I don't mean private investigator. I mean P.I. Pie.
Like math.
Like, oh yeah. Like math. You know, 3.141617 something. But who's counting? Huh? Okay, let's see. Do we want to talk about Madame Curie?
No.
We want to talk about taxes. You want to talk about taxes?
No,
Okay, we don't talk about taxes. Taxes. Yeah, okay. Taxes. I love taxes.
Pizza.
What kind of state names itself pizza? Oh, it's not a state. I got it. Okay. Aha. That's pretty good there. Okay. What, oh, wait a minute. Here's one on pie. Not P.I., but P.I.E. All right. Or, well, that's a good one, too. No.
Yes, close your eyes and pick one.
Okay, pizza. There's only 12. What month of the year is National Pizza Month observed? And don't say Juvember. No, it's not Juvember. Okay, what month is National Pizza Month observed?
Any hints?
It's one of 12. We're going to do this, then we'll do that. We'll be back on Wayne Goldsboro Television.
Sure.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our guest is Charlie Ivey, and Charlie is, and whatever his name is Pedro, I think is his name, right? We're going to start this again. Boy, that's a nice shirt, man.
Well, thank you.
That's nice, very nice. All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our guest is Charlie Ivey, and Charlie is the Executive Director of Partnership for Children here in Wayne County. And how are you doing, sir?
Fine, Wayne.
Always good to see you.
Glad to be here.
You guys stay so busy.
We do.
Let's go to the basics now. I want to talk about what partnership is. What do you do?
What I tell folks that we're the one-stop shop for services for kids from birth to the time they're 5 years old.
Okay.
We are a non-profit organization. We have two major sources of fundings. We are the Smart Start agency in Wayne County, which is a North Carolina agency that serves children from the time they're born to the time they start school. And we also are the administrator of the North Carolina Pre-K program here in Wayne County.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, all right. I want to go beyond that now. Tell me. You say you serve from birth to whatever age. How do you serve them? What do you do?
okay, that's a multitude of services, Wayne. As I said, the Smart Start initiative, which was begun back in the 1990s by Governor Jim Hunt, realized that there was a breakdown of what kids receive from the time they were born until they start school. Many kids started school much further behind than other kids. They were not
Right.
ready for formal education.
Right.
So he started a program to provide services. Now these services are all inclusive. We do not, there's very few things we provide directly for children. What we do, we work with parents and those people who take care of our children. Roughly 2/3 of our children are in some form of preschool or daycare before they are in regular education.
Okay.
So we seek to make sure that that child care is of quality and that there's a sufficient amount of spaces in Wayne County to serve the kids who are here.
Okay. So it's just helping them to get started on the right foot.
Yes.
Just
Our whole mission, we have a saying that the first 2,000 days are important. What are 2,000 days? There's roughly 2,000 days from the time a child is born to the time he or she starts school. We consider those 2,000 days to be the most important days in a child's life,
Right.
because much of the brain development that is going on in a child's life occurs during that 2,000 days.
Right.
And unless that brain development is progressing effectively and efficiently, that brain is not fully developed ever again. And we spend the next 18 years trying to catch up.
So they're learning to learn.
They're learning to learn. They're preparing themselves. Their brain is creating the neural networks that eventually are full of knowledge.
Right.
If those networks are not formed early, then that knowledge is never gained.
Okay.
So.
That makes a lot of sense. I can understand that. So it's kind of helping them get to learn how to learn when they first begin class.
The whole effort, and matter of fact, one of our major programs today is what we call Read Wayne. Read Wayne is a program that is actually administered by the Wayne County Public Library, which we fund, which seeks to help parents learn that it's so very important to communicate with their kids. We particularly serve kids we consider at risk. These kids may be kids born of poverty, kids with maybe one parent, kids who have some type of learning disability. We seek to make sure that their parents know how effectively to help their kids begin the learning process. Chief among that is to talk, to communicate. There are studies that show that some kids come to school knowing 200,000 more words than other kids.
Really?
And that is simply because they are talked to. Everything from going to the grocery store to going to the playground can be a learning experience for a kid.
So now you're teaching the kids how to learn, but now so you also work with the parents as well.
Yes. Matter of fact, we have two major parenting programs. One is called The Incredible Years. This is essentially for kids, with parents with kids a little bit older, maybe 3, 4, 5, who are maybe experiencing behavioral problems for the first time
boy.
or for continually.
Who doesn't experience?
Right. And this free program is a 15-week course in which we invite parents to come in with other such parents and provide them positive strategies to how to deal with these behaviors to more effectively manage their kids, and once again, to help their learning process. The program not only is free, but we also provide incentives. We provide child care so that both parents, mother and father, or mother or other family member can come and participate. We provide them supper. So there's no excuse for them to give their undivided attention to our program.
Do you ever run into a situation, Charlie, where the parent is willing, the child is willing, but the child is of such that the behavioral problem is more than once thought, is a bigger problem?
Sure.
And you identify this.
There are physical and mental issues associated with most children. And what we find is when strategies do not work, there is another cause. And that's when we also use our referral services to provide health and mental assistance to the families.
All right, and this would be to local
Local professionals.
Right.
government agencies, wherever the case. One of the things that the partnership does quite nicely is when we work with our families, is to make sure that they know what resources are available.
Right.
As I said, we do not provide many of those services directly, but we know the professionals, the services in the community that can help these parents.
I would think, Charlie, that that's got to be great for the child if the parent can identify quickly that there's a problem, more than just your ordinary
Exactly.
2 or 3 year old.
And that early assessment, that early evaluation is very, very important. The whole goal of Smart Start is to provide the health services for young children, to make sure they get off to a healthy beginning, to provide the parenting support for their parents to help them grow, and lastly, and very importantly, to provide early education as well. Now, this is not formal education, but this is helping child care providers to provide an environment which is literacy rich, physically active, that helps the child begin their academic and physical growth.
And I know this is only a small part of partnership because you guys, the umbrella is enormous.
Right. When I was preparing for coming in today, I was looking at, we have 20 odd programs.
Wow.
As I said, working everything with parents to the child care providers. And I want to point out to one of our biggest departments is our child care resource and referral. And what that department does is work with child care providers to be sure that they meet state qualifications, requirements to provide quality child care for children. We work directly with child care providers, evaluating, providing training. We do not regulate. People need to understand that we are only a resource.
What do you mean you don't regulate? What is that? Give me an example.
Okay, for example, the state is charged with making sure that child care centers provide certain quality.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we have a star rating system in North Carolina. A child care facility can be rated anywhere from 1 star to a higher 5 star.
Okay.
The Department of Health and Human Services is responsible for going in, inspecting, evaluating these programs, and providing them with the ratings. What we do is help the child care center prepare for that evaluation. We go in, do mock evaluations, and if we see something that is amiss, that we know is not going to pass state standards, then we work. While our goal is to move all child care centers that serve Wayne County children up to 4 and 5 star level. That is one of our chief goals. And once again, we don't give them that star rating, we just help them get there. Once they have a star rating, we also provide training, much like any other professional child care providers have professional growth standards.
Right.
They must receive training ongoing. We help provide that training. We have ongoing training sessions all during the year for child care work.
When the parent brings a child in, do they leave the child or they stay with the child? It depends on the class.
Once again, now in this training, like in our incredible years, the child is there.
Okay.
They do not participate in the training, but we provide the child care so that the parent can have the training. Now, when we're providing training for child care providers, children are not present.
Okay.
This is just after hours training
Right.
that they receive to get updates on new strategies and or regulations for their
Well, and
facility.
as we mentioned, when there's a problem with the child that you can identify early, then of course you address that
Certainly.
with the parent. Well, now, is there ever a problem with a parent that you can that you bring the parent in and say, look, you can't do that. You have to approach it in a different way. Do you ever do that?
Being that we are a resource, parents, even for our Incredible Years program, parents are self-referred. If there has been a child abuse situation, we're not part of that.
All right.
All of our services are voluntary, and most of the parents realize that anything that we say and do is for the welfare of the child.
Right.
And certainly they may disagree with some of the strategies because we do stress the positive.
Right.
We look at, even in terms of behavior, in terms of preventive measures, not negative discipline.
Right.
So,
Okay. Is there ever a fee? There has to be a fee.
there
at
are some fees for
yeah.
some of the things that we do. There are training sessions for the child care providers, definitely. There's a minimal charge. We have a service called the Lending Library, which is a marvelous part of our program. We have a large room in our facility, which is located on William Street, dedicated to games, toys, and books. It works just like a public library, but instead of just books, we have toys and games, costumes, things that parents can check out, use with their children.
Wow.
And use for a month. If the children enjoy it, then they can go have the option of going out and buying, but they return our toy or game to us. There is a $20 a year subscription fee.
A whole $20?
A whole $20.
Wow.
They can borrow as many toys and games as they'd like, as long as they come back in good condition. Never another charge.
Okay. That's $20 a year.
Good.
That's great.
So there are, as I said, most of our services are provided free of charge to parents and child care providers. So.
All right. Well, Charlie
One
Ivey.
more thing before we go, though.
Yes. What else?
I do
There's
want
more.
to be sure.
There's more.
There's more. As I said, we're also the administrator of the North Carolina Pre-K program in Wayne County.
Okay.
The NC Pre-K program is the state program for at-risk 4-year-olds. And the reason I wanted to be sure we hit it is we are now accepting applications for the 2016-17 year.
Okay.
And we have limited spaces. The NC Pre-K program is a state-supported program. And we right now have 522 slots. We could probably use 700 or 800 slots.
Wow.
So there is a high demand for those. But what this program does is providing instruction for 4-year-olds before they start regular kindergarten. These children are deemed at risk, and that at risk, once again, can be determined by several different things, whether they are in poverty, and a third of children in Wayne County are born to poverty, whether or not they are ESL, English as a Second Language, whether they have some type of learning disability that has already been identified. And also all of our military children, because of their transient nature, are considered to be at risk. So if you meet any of those qualities, your children are eligible for the NC Pre-K program.
Okay.
And now is the time. As I said, we have 522 slots. They're located in 18 sites, 28 classrooms. These classrooms are in public schools. They're in private child care, and also the Wages Head Start program also provides.
How are they assigned? Do you go put the child to the nearest?
Parents have a choice of 3 options.
Okay.
Ranking 1, 2, and 3, and normally their first choice is allowed to be honored.
Okay.
And this might be based upon where they work or where they live.
Right.
So,
okay.
but come by the partnership office at 800 North William Street. We have a website. We also are on Facebook. So there's all kinds of ways to find out additional information.
That website is pfcw.org.
Correct.
PFCW, Partnership for Children Wayne.org. And you're at the intersection, near the intersection of Royal Avenue.
Right at the intersection of Royal Avenue.
So you're actually on William.
Street, but we're right there on Royal Avenue, easy to find.
Very easy to find. Charles Ivey is the Executive Director of Partnership for Children. Charlie, we appreciate you being here today.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
As your state representative, it's an honor serving you in the North Carolina General Assembly. And I have a message for our first responders and law enforcement personnel. I have your back. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for keeping our community safe.
We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thursday it is, and a quick reminder that we'll show this program. We're on every day, Monday through Friday, but the program shows at 7 a.m., at noon, and at 5:30 p.m. Hope you're able to join us. Hope you're there right now, as a matter of fact, because if you're not, you can't hear me. True. True. August 1st, Friday. In other words, the first Friday event in August at the Arts Council will be held in August on the first Friday at the Arts Council. Jam-packed with fun for the entire family. The next Downtown Art Walk. It's an art walk. Sponsored by Duke Energy Foundation, taking place on the first Friday, which is August 5th. The first Friday is on the 5th. The 5th is the first Friday? Fine.
Don't get nobody confused now, Wayne.
I know. I have a tendency to do that. The Arts Council has teamed up with Downtown Goldsboro businesses, organizations, and over 20 local artists for a fun evening. You can come to the Arts Council of Wayne County on North John Street, 102 North John, downtown Goldsboro, Friday, August 5th, starting at 4. That's 4 on the 5th for First Friday. Fine. You'll be able to pick up an Art Walk map and an Art Walk passport, and then you begin your Art Walk journey at any location on that map, and you visit those folks at the art location during the art journey located on the art map in any order you prefer. You get your art stamped, get your passport rather stamped at each of your stops, and then once you've completed the art walk with all of your locations stamped, take your passport to the Arts Council of Wayne County, 102 North John Street, downtown Goldsboro. No later than 8 p.m. that evening. You'll be entered to win a $100 gift certificate to the Arts Council's Art Market. That's right inside the Arts Council. If you want more information about this, the number to call is 919-736-3300. 736-3300. To go to artsinwayne.org, artsinwayne.org, to see the map and get a list of participating businesses and artists. Now, you can get a list all you like, but you don't participate if you don't get your passport stamped at each location. All right, that's on the 5th of August at 4. It's the 5th at 4, the first Friday. Finally. Fine. Okay, what else do we have? Beak Week. We got Beak Week. And Beak Week is coming up in a while. September, right? Okay. It will be in September. And why are we mentioning it now? Because they want to get all the vendors together now. If you're a vendor, if you vend, then here's your opportunity to vend your little heart out. You can vend at Beak Week in downtown Goldsboro. They're accepting vendor applications for the city of Goldsboro's this is the third year for Beak Week. It's a festival. Beak Week Festival will be held Saturday, September 10th at 10. Begins at 10, goes till 6 p.m. on Center Street, downtown Goldsboro. Downtown Goldsboro. The fun event features a day of live music with 2 stages, kids activities, adult activities, food, and art. If you're a vendor, you can rent a space. Spaces are available 10 by 10 for $50. They're seeking vendors of handmade goods and homegrown and locally grown produce. Go to artsinwayne.org for more information about that and about Beak Week. artsinwayne.org. Today's the 21st, and that means tonight at 7:30, American Legion Post 11, meeting at 7:30 this evening at the Post Hut, Highway 117 south, just south of, immediately south of the fairgrounds and the cemetery there. That's tonight. American Legion Post 11 having their meeting at 7:30 p.m. Where's our trivia question here? The answer to our trivia question, the category was pizza. The Italian word for pizza is pizza. The Italian word for pie is pizza. So if you've ever heard anyone say, I'd like a pizza pie, would you like a pizza pie? So what they're actually saying, since pie is the word for pizza, is I'll have a pizza. That sounds like a commercial, doesn't it?
It does.
Pizza. Okay. The question was, in what month do we observe National Pizza Month?
October.
October's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. You win the prize.
Just a wild guess.
Oh, sure it was.
It was really just a wild guess.
That's right. That was a wild guess?
It was just a wild guess.
That was really wild. Okay, very good. Very good. October is the month we observe National Pizza Month. All right. Hope you have a great day and a great everything. Everything is great. Hope so. So until, wait a minute, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Until tomorrow, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
Woo, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.